Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
I want proof before you leave here today
McCullum?
to see whether I'm going to allow you to drive or not. Number one. Number two, as a condition of your bond, you are not allowed to use dope or any kind of dope whatsoever or alcohol. If I find that you're using anything, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond sky high. Do you understand? $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
In the second 2024, deputy arrived at McDonald's parking lot at 13532 Beechnut Street in Harris County, Texas, where he made contact with the defendant and a complainant who were near their vehicles. The complainant and the defendant do not know each other. The complainant stated that when he was driving on the public roadway, he accidentally backed his vehicle into the defendant's front bumper. The complainant believed that he did not strike the defendant's vehicle at the time of the impact and drove away onto the cross street. The defendant began to follow him. The complainant parked his vehicle in the McDonald's parking lot and observed the defendant's vehicle stop behind his car. The defendant approached the driver's door of the complainant's vehicle. The complainant opened his driver's door and asked the defendant, "Hey bro, are we good?" The defendant became verbally aggressive towards the complainant, yelling at him and telling him that he hit his car. The complainant remained sitting down in his driver's seat. The defendant was so close to the complainant that the complainant could not walk out of the vehicle. The defendant with his left fist struck the complainant on the right side of his face, causing pain. The defendant repeatedly told the complainant to get out of the car. The complainant remained in the vehicle while the defendant continued to yell at him, standing outside of the driver's side of the vehicle. The complainant had a purple discoloration mark with red swelling on his right cheek, consistent with that of a physical assault. The white area of the complainant's right eye was pink compared to his left eye. A vehicle inventory of the defendant's vehicle revealed a clear plastic bag containing two separate plastic bags of marijuana, total weight 83 grams, 2.9 ounces.
Mr. Wyckoff, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm going to tell you that all you really had to do was call the cops when that dude took off, and then they probably would have had that dude arrested. But now, because you took matters into your own hands, you and I are not going to have a good time. I am now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and you must come right back to court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
You run his license, please. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
I want proof before you leave here today
McCullum?
to see whether I'm going to allow you to drive or not. Number one. Number two, as a condition of your bond, you are not allowed to use dope or any kind of dope whatsoever or alcohol. If I find that you're using anything, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond sky high. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This license is eligible, Judge.
Thank you. I'm ordering you also as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons and not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Rachel, I'd like to send him down right now for a drug test. I'm going to have you sign a reset, and then I'm going to hand you off to take a drug test, and then you must come right back. Do you understand? Okay. Mr. Wyckoff tested positive for cocaine. He also tested positive for, what else was it? Mr. Wyckoff, I'm going to tell you now, I'm not putting up with it. I'm not going to let you do this while you're on my watch. So,
Sorry, Your Honor.
it's okay.
Step forward.
It stops now. And if you don't, we have one place for it. You understand? You will be drug tested like crazy. I'm going to bring you here 2 times a week so that you prove to me that you're not consuming any kind of cocaine, alcohol, or any dope whatsoever. And the first time you test positive, you will go to jail. I know that you're going to test positive now for the next 3 days, maybe 4, but after that time, if you've continued to test positive for cocaine, then you will go to jail. As far as the weed is concerned, I will give you a 35 to 40-day window. And after that, if you test positive, that tells you that you've continued to use. And likewise, you will go to jail. And I'm going to tell you now, no more PR bonds. Do you understand? I don't care if you're mad at me. I don't care if you're, look.
I'm not going to make it 2 times a week.
Well, then.
Drug test, not working everything. No, that's not going to happen.
Yes, it is.
All right.
I will give you the opportunity. If you don't, then that's fine. You don't have to come. You know what's going to happen, and that's it.
Judge, I would ask the court to consider just either once a week or every 2 weeks.
No, because he can still use and he can evade capture with it. And, I don't want you to continue to use cocaine, and that's it. And I'm not going to trust you.
I can't even use cocaine. I have asthma. That stuff will break my lungs.
You tested positive for it.
I can't use it.
Well, okay. Prove it.
I have asthma. It's in the system.
Prove it. I'm not going to take your word for it. So that's. I've already given you a lawyer, Mr. Wyckoff. You know what's expected of you. All you have to do. I'm not asking you to show up here. I'm asking you to just go take a test, and then you can take
Like
off.
I said, I work. I'm not going to take 2 times out a week to go take a test. No.
That is the bond condition.
All right. I could have paid my own bond for that.
It's still a condition I'm going to put on you, whether you paid your own bond or not. If you don't like it, don't pick up a new case. Easy solution. And I hope that now it becomes so miserable that you think twice before you follow someone next time. Because, like I said, had you probably just called the cops, they would have chased that person and arrested him.
I followed them to get their driver's license number. And I did follow them.
Don't talk about the case. I don't want to talk about the case. I'm just telling you what's expected of you, sir. Today's Tuesday. So what I'll do is I'm not going to have you come back on Thursday because I know that it's not going to be. So we can start Monday, testing on Monday, and we'll go from there. You will have to go take a drug test on Monday, submit it to the lab, and then you can go on about your business. If you test positive, you will be brought to court, and then we'll address it at that time. All right. Any questions? Anything else? Okay. Good luck, Mr. Wyckoff. Mr. Wyckoff, I'm going to tell you, if you try to get into a pissing match with me, it's not going to go well with you.
Stop. The judge is talking. Face the judge when he's talking to you.
Bring it. Well, let me explain to you how things work, Mr. Caceres, is that the 14 days is a courtesy. Statutorily, by statute, we can hold you for 30 days. You are in front of us now because you have a fugitive case. You are wanted out of state of Connecticut for sexual assault. And he has already waived.
Yes, Judge.
And where are we at now?
So, Judge, if I may, so whatever the charges might be, it could be murder. It can't be murder because you can't let him out on bond. The point is he's presumed innocent. So without anything else, he is innocent as he stands here. No evidence is being presented. So if we're talking about the severity of something, he is presumed innocent. He is innocent of that as of right now. Until he gets over there to that jurisdiction, can they find him guilty of that? So presuming he's innocent, talking about the severity of a charge doesn't really have an effect on this fugitive case because there are 2 things that he's got in place, 2 things that he needs to make a decision on, whether to waive or whether to fight formally his extradition. The waiver says, what he agreed to says they have 14 days. It is ordered for the sheriff to hold him for no more than 14 days of the date this was signed. This is the actual order signed by the court. This is what he agreed to. Signed by him, signed by you, the judge. And so this is the agreement. The fact that somebody didn't send a fax to the correct number, it doesn't say, but if we send the fax to the wrong number, you get to hold them 3 extra days. This says 14 days. This is what he signed up for. This is what's ordered. This is what I say should stand, and this is what I say should allow him to get out today. If they didn't do their due diligence for this, it's not on my client. He signed up for this.
So let me explain to you how things work, Mr. Caceres, is that the 14 days is a courtesy. Statutorily, by statute, we can hold you for 30 days. Normally, and it has become custom that we do 14 days because of the overcrowding that we have in Harris County. We have so many people in custody, 8,000, 9,000, up to 10,000 people at any given time in and out of our jails. And because of that, as a courtesy, we do 14 days. Now, many times I grant extensions, I don't grant extensions. A lot of times there are several factors that is determinant of whether I grant an extension or not. One of the things are, has there ever been an extension before? Number two, the nature of the charge. Number three, have you ever had a fugitive case before? And so these are things that I look at as to whether to grant an extension or not.
Your Honor, may I please speak?
Well, I don't know. You may want to talk to your lawyer. The thing is this, look, I don't want you to talk about the original case, okay? Because the thing is that I live stream these proceedings, right? And so I don't want you to say something that you put your foot into your mouth, because here, the only thing that we're discussing is whether I should set a bond for you to get out, for you to go turn yourself in. That warrant, even if I let you out today, that warrant will eternally be there, and it'll always be out there until you go turn yourself in. The only thing we're discussing now is whether I should set a bond to let you go turn yourself in. And I don't know, because are you a flight risk? I don't know. The only thing I know is that you're charged with a very serious case. It's sexual assault. And so to me, the protection of my community is paramount, number one. Number two, the other question I have is, if we let you out, are you going to go turn yourself in? Everyone tells me that they're going to go
I
do
have
that.
my family sitting in court, and they are the one supporting me. And I know 100% they're going to support me to turn myself in. That's why they're still here, and I'm still the last one. And yes, I didn't know about the fugitive warrant that I had. And yes, I'm willing to turn myself in because I'm innocent.
You need to fight those charges regardless, because they're very serious charges. But this is what we had planned to do, was I was going to give them an extension until Friday morning, right? If they don't come by Friday in the morning, I'm giving you a PR bond.
Your I came to visit my family for the holidays. I wasn't able to enjoy that. I'm willing to turn myself in, but I would like to be with my family for the New Year's to start with a strong.
My concern is not my concern. And my only concern is I want you to get back to Connecticut.
And I will, but I need my family. I need to today, as the paper says, I signed for 14 days, and I would like to have a time with my family to look for the bond, to look for them to go forward with turning myself into Connecticut, but not like waiting for Friday.
Let me make one thing clear to you. This isn't about giving you a PR bond. If I were to set you a bond now, it's going to be something substantial, meaning a high bond into the 5 digits to ensure that you go back to Connecticut. This isn't about giving you a PR bond. If they fail to get you by Friday, I'm going to give you a PR bond, because they have fallen on their word twice, and I'm not going to do it. Now, if I were to set you a bond now, I mean, it's over 10,000, something like that, to that nature. And because it's a fugitive case, there's no 10%. You're probably going to have to pony up 90 to 100% of it, because you are an inherent flight risk, because it's a fugitive case. So there's none of this 10% where you pay $1,000 and you're going to get out. No. In these types of cases, when we have fugitive cases, I normally set bonds, 5,000, 10,000. I've set bonds at 50,000. I've set a bond at 100,000, depending on the nature, severity, how many criminal history. So this isn't about just letting you out now willy-nilly. No, I would set you a bond, and it's going to be a substantial bond, because I have to know if I'm going to let you out, there's got to be enough blood in there that you're going to actually go back and not just try to flake out. Because if you take off and you don't come back, all that money's gone. So,
Okay, but the 14 days were exactly what I signed for.
remember, it is a courtesy. Statutorily, we can hold you here 30 days. Okay.
Actually, to address the legal part of it, if your client is stating that he is withdrawing the waiver after today, then at that point, if you're considering a refusal, then we'll start the governor's warrant process and we'll hold him to 90 days. So if that's what your client is requesting, just in terms of your argument, because you were stating 14 days, that's true. If you want to, at the end, then revoke it, then we'll request an extension to 90 days and get the governor's warrant. So.
Judge, my argument is what he signed, what the order states, and the documents filed in this case. This is what's filed in
I
every
get it.
single-
I understand that. But there's sometimes extenuating circumstances. Things happen.
Not faxing it to a certain person is not a good excuse, Judge. He's sitting there waiting 14 days just because somebody didn't do their job. That should not fall on him and cost him 5 extra days. That's 5 days this man is sitting in jail. 5 extra days just because somebody didn't send the fax to the correct person. This isn't the first time.
It's a courtesy.
I get it. Okay.
We can hold you 30 days. The 14 days, I don't have to give anyone 14 days. I can hold everyone 30 days if I wanted to. 14 is a courtesy. I've told you now that I'm going to give them until Friday. If they don't come here Friday morning, I'm letting you out. And now it's on them. And I don't care. I'm going to give you a free bond on Friday if they don't come pick you up. But if I'm going to set you a bond now, the first thing that's going to happen is you have to withdraw your waiver. All the 14 days that you've accrued so far goes out the window. You lose all the time that you've accrued. If you're unable to make the bond, you've lost all that time. Then they're going to get another, another couple weeks to come get you. So give it till Friday. If they're not here, then I'll give you a PR bond. If they come here by that time, then you get up and you go fight the charges in Connecticut. And now, when you get to Connecticut, you can also, ask for a bond there. They can set you a bond there. But, the money that you would spend here just to get out, it's probably, use that to hire yourself a great lawyer there. Because the thing is that here, it's just a little wait. That in Connecticut, that's what you really got to worry about. This is peanuts. You go there, lean on your family to get you the best lawyer you can get in Connecticut so you can fight that case. That's where the concern should lie.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Remember, when you get on that phone in the jail, every phone call is recorded. Be careful what you say. Be careful who you talk to. There's a lot of jailhouse lawyers over there. They're going to tell you this, they're going to tell you that. Listen to Ricardo. He's going to direct you the best. And then we'll reset this to Friday. If they don't come Friday, I'm giving them a PR bond, and I don't give it.
Right, I'm with you. But it was remember, because the holdover issue is that it has to be set.
We'll set it to Monday.
Right.
But
otherwise he's going to be brought up.
You'll be here Friday, right? Okay, we'll look in the system if they've come get you Friday morning. If not, if they haven't come get you, we got to set a time.
Really early. So
what I want to do is I want to be able to commit them to a specific time on Friday, so I know I can start working on a PR bond, because I'm not giving them until 5 p.m. Friday. It's got to be in the morning, and they got to come get you. And if they don't by 10:30, then at that point I start working the PR bond for you.
Why don't we just set it for 10:30?
If I get a different time, then obviously I'll email you and I'll email court. And so
It's got to be something reasonable, morning-ish.
I think they indicated morning, but obviously until they confirm with our central records.
I want to know from them specifically so that they can say, "Oh man, you didn't tell us that time." And no.
Right. I think I only had one first specific request for an
I
afternoon.
want them to commit so that they know if they're not here by that time, he's going bye-bye.
The only concern would be is if we don't do it by the time court is done with.
That's why I'm trying to commit them to a time before court is done, so that they can't
Perfect.
It's on them.
That's
And
okay.
there's no one else that they can blame.
Okay. I'm on board. Yeah.
We can bring them back tomorrow if you want to do maybe, we're off Wednesday, right?
Yes, Judge.
Thursday, whatever you want, or we can email and then you can,
We could email and just, unless they wants to.
Well, I'm emailing the detective now because I emailed the inspector originally. I probably
they
should.
may not respond within,
Well, we could approach on it tomorrow.
Yeah,
off
of course.
docket. We don't need to bring Mr.
That's what I mean. Is
done.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're going to pick a time Friday for them to come pick you up so that they are in agreement with. So if they don't come here by that time, you're giving a PR bond.
Thank you so much.
Okay? Okay, man.